So if you're watching this, you probably aren't finishing your Christmas shopping. But this year, you want to shop responsibly. And so you look for those companies which reflect the sort of values that everyone in the media keeps telling us that they should reflect. And these are things like businesses that pay a living wage, that support increased taxes on corporations, and of course provide things like family leave, and according to one labor official, Grubhub benefits. And the best way to get these things is, through laws and regulations. And wouldn't you know it, companies are responding. It turns out that some of the largest corporations out there are actually lining up to add more benefits, provide higher pay, and they've even signed on to paying more in corporate taxes. Not only that, but they're so enthusiastic that they agree that this should all be law. So if they are doing these things, then presumably they think it's good for the community and good for their business. So my question is, why do you need a law? I mean, things like paid medical leave are very popular because it seems like a complete no-brainer. I mean, why wouldn't you pay medical leave to a sick employee? And honestly, many companies already do this without being forced by the government. But this can represent a huge cost to smaller businesses that operate on very thin margins, causing them to have to cut hours, positions, or of course, go out of business. What about $15 minimum wage? That's also very popular, until you realize that a lot of these big companies supporting it already have their headquarters in places where $15 an hour is essentially the going rate. But you force companies in lower cost areas to replicate this mandate, and they either have to raise prices, cut hours, lay off workers, or of course, go out of business. But what about paying higher corporate taxes? Surely this is something that large corporations are now supporting purely out of their sense of civic duty, right? Well, when you consider that a company like Amazon has a market capitalization greater than the annual GDPs of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark combined, and an army of attorneys which help them maximize tax breaks, then paying a larger percentage of corporate taxes doesn't actually amount to much for them. Because while Amazon or Apple might be able to absorb the taxes or find a different loophole, the smaller corporation can be forced out of business. Are we seeing a trend here? Now please understand, the goal here is not to trash Amazon, Apple, or any other company which has grown by doing a great job providing goods and services we all want. But we should be skeptical of how big government often colludes with big business in order to give itself special advantages within the law. The goal should be to provide for conditions in the marketplace where everyone can share their ideas, exchange goods and services, and engage in both cooperation and competition, without the government tipping the scales in favor of those with the best lobbyists. And speaking of engaging in the marketplace, did you know that on Cyber Monday, Americans spent over $10.8 billion in online shopping? And while some people see this kind of consumerism as a problem, we think it can actually be viewed as a sign of progress. And you can learn more about that by watching this video right here. I'm Nick Freitas with the Wine Minutes, where we challenge the popular narratives of our time. Visit our channel to subscribe and leave us a comment on what topic you'd like to see us cover next.